Hi, my name is Andrew Velasquez.
And I'm Kyle Gibbons.
And this is Nickel Plate
News.
Okay.
So Kyle, what's your top 5 favorite animals?
Gosh, dogs, birds, guinea pigs, hamsters, and fish probably. But I can't do cats.
No cats? They're gonna hate this segment. Now on to
boy.
Juliet, where she's at Smitten Kitten Cafe.
The Smitten Kitten Cat Cafe in Fishers is a place where you can enjoy coffee and cats. The cafe has a regular coffee shop area where visitors can grab drinks and snacks. Then they have a separate cat lounge where visitors can enjoy time with the cats. In the lounge, cats roam in a cage-free space where guests can play, relax, and learn more about the adoption process. The goal of the cafe is to help these cats find a permanent home while also giving guests a fun experience. It is highly recommended for visitors to make reservations for 30 to 60-minute sessions in the cat lounge, especially on weekends and holidays when kids are out of school. For more information on availability, time, and policies, scan this QR code.
How does the adoption process work here?
So the adoption process is managed by whoever we have in here at the time. So whatever rescue, whatever their process is, we just follow that. So somebody comes in, currently wants to adopt one of these cats. We navigate them to the website of the rescue for them to fill out the application. We take their name and number and we write it on the board next to the cat that they're wanting. And then we let the rescue know that somebody's put an application in. So then that prompts them to go pull that application, go through it. They'll start calling the veterinarians and reference checks and all that kind of stuff. And if they get approved, they'll let us know, and then they can call us to schedule when they're going to pick up the cat. So that varies every 3 months, and everybody's process is slightly different, and their adoption rates are slightly different.
What kind of partnerships do you have with the local rescues?
So we currently work with 5 different partners, rescues, shelters, the Humane Society for Hamilton County, Hancock County Humane Society. We've used Biscuit Factory Rescue out of Greenfield. This is currently Mango's Miracles. They do cats, dogs, and reptiles and exotics, because we're going to have a bunch of exotics in here. And then we have Paws on My Heart. We started off using them at the beginning of the year. Elwood Animal Shelter and Anderson Protection League are 2 that are wanting to rotate in as well. We've done events, but not actually a 3-month rotation with them yet. So it's a little loud, dude.
Why do you think letting people interact with the cats helps them get adopted?
Well, a lot of these cats being in shelters are in cages, and a lot of the humane societies don't have a specific like free roaming room like this where people can go in and spend time with the cats. And even when they do that, it's still a stressful environment for the cat coming out of a cage and then trying to get to know somebody and dealing with that, even that small environment change. So with them being here and living here all the time until they get adopted, they get used to the environment, they get used to people coming and going. And so when they finally find the person that they really like, then it's real easy for that person to interact with the cat as well. So almost all cat cafes do that, but some of them have condo them or kennels some of them at night depending on certain issues, but that's one of the best benefits of a cat cafe.
Why should people come here?
Well, if you love cats or if you're stressed out or if you need a cat, this is the best place to come. We also have wonderful coffee over there. We'd like to say it's better than some of the others in the area, but it's a very, we've got a large room here. We get, we try to have at least 18 cats in here at a time, and we only allow 16 people in here. So it's a very relaxing environment. It'll be very low stress. We do have some people that'll bring their laptops in and just sit the hour in here and then spend a couple hours out there. And it's just, it tends to calm people, especially people that have just lost their pets and they're not quite ready for a pet, another cat, but they want to come and still spend some time with them. So.
Since 2023, the cafe has helped hundreds of cats get adopted. The cafe hopes by giving people time to connect with the cats, it'll help them find a more permanent home. So make sure to stop by when you have a chance.
Thanks, Juliet. I don't know about you, but that looks pretty enticing. Now on to Con with education about the HSC Schools Superintendent.
Thanks, guys.
Hamilton Southeastern Schools Superintendent Patrick Mapes has announced that he will be stepping down from his position this spring. In a letter sent to families and staff on March 2nd, Mapes said he plans to resign effective April 13th, after serving as superintendent for about 2 years. He said that the decision came after reflecting on the progress that the district has made and feeling that it was the right time to step aside and pursue a new challenge. Mapes first joined Hamilton Southeastern Schools in February of 2024 after the previous superintendent left the district. Before coming to HSE, he spent more than 30 years in public education and previously served as superintendent of Perry Township Schools in Indianapolis. During his time at HSE, Mapes said the district focused heavily on strengthening classroom instruction and expanding opportunities for students. He also highlighted improvements in student performance, including a record high iRead 3 scores and graduation rates across the district. In a statement, the HSE Board of School Trustees thanked Mapes for his leadership and said his work had a lasting impact on students and schools throughout the district. The district has not yet announced who will replace Mapes, but school leaders say the process to find the next superintendent will begin soon. For Nickel Plate News, I'm Con Chikirge. Now back to Cal and Andrew.
Thank you, Con, for that great insight. Now on to Luke with safety about trafficking.
Thanks. I'm Luke Dodd with Safety, and this month we will be talking about trafficking, which is a crime that involves exploiting people or substances through fraud, labor, or prostitution. In January, we lost a Hamilton Southeastern student by the name of Haley Busby after she was abducted and sexually exploited. Now we're going to hear from Officer Noel on the topic of trafficking.
Trafficking can be looked at from several vantage points. It includes perpetrators that actually want to have the control of humans, and they groom them and then they incorporate them into their scheme. Honestly, though, there's other different facets that include just trying to get explicit images for the sake of, it's just a different level of fraud. And juveniles are all obviously the target because they're easy targets, but honestly, when it comes to money and fraud, working the road, I've seen it all the way up to, elders, geriatrics are susceptible too. So it really just comes down to making yourself less of a optimal target and just awareness and education. Yeah, specifically with students, like I said, that they are seen as an easy target because they have their phones, which are today's computers, there all the time. I want to say it's probably 5 to 8 hours a day on average that students are using their phones to communicate, to welcome in distractions, to find ways to feel better about themselves, unfortunately, and that's the sort of connection when can get them in trouble. They find a false sense of security with these relationships they're building on the internet. And one thing I like to think about is catfishing's a popular term, they can portray however they want on the internet, and if the real perpetrator is walking, say, hallways in the school or even in line with them at Jimmy John's, their spidey senses might be up, but when it's online, their defenses are down, and just, once again, makes them an easy target. At once upon a time, Snapchat was the scary app because things can disappear, for instance. Now there's things like sessions, and from a law enforcement stance, just like anyone else really, most people are going to interact with us from a victim standpoint and not perpetrators, but it's our job to look at it from all sides. And when our awesome investigators have to go investigate unfortunate crimes against children, and this app like Sessions, you can't even obtain that evidence unless it's literally on their phone at the time. And that just should be a glaring red flag that apps out there aren't in our favor. So just really awareness on parents' part, accountability, learning how to just mitigate the threats and the challenges that we face with going deeper into the 21st century, really.
Thanks, Officer Noel. Make sure you're following all of his recommendations to stay safe online.
Thanks, Luke. Now let's see what Maddox is up to.
Today, I'm going to be explaining some new bills that may or may not be passed in Indiana, and I'll also explain them and their impact. First, I'm going to introduce Senate Bill 78, which will bring massive changes to student life all across the state. This bill would enforce schools to create policies that would ban smartphones, gaming devices, and smart watches. Next, I'll be introducing House Bill 1408, which deals with teens and social media. This bill will require users under the age of 16 to get a parent's written signature to be able to use social media. These are just some of the few bills that have been passed into the State House. Thank you, and back to your main anchors.
Thank you, Maddox. Now on to Jack with sports.
Thanks. My name's Jack Green, and March Madness is almost here. The college basketball fans across the country are getting ready for the most exciting tournament in sports, and so am I. For those unfamiliar, March Madness is the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament featuring 68 teams competing in a single bracket, which means one loss and a team's entire season is over, which is why the tournament is known for its unpredictable moments. The tournament officially begins after Selection Sunday on March 15th. The first games, known as the First Four, tip off on March 17th and March 18th, followed by the first round on March 19th and March 20th. This year is especially exciting because the Final Four National Championship will also be held here at Lucas Oil Stadium on April 4th and 6th, bringing the biggest weekend in college basketball right here to Indy. As for local teams, the Purdue Boilermakers are projected as a top seed in a serious championship contender, while the Indiana Hoosiers, I don't want to talk about it. We were fighting to secure the spot in the tournament, but that's over. Play wrapping up. Tournaments are underway, and the bracket announcement just days away. The excitement of March Madness is already building. Now I'm handing off to Luke Dodd for a segment on safety betting during March Madness.
Thanks, Jack. March Madness is one of the largest annual betting events in the United States. A record 68 million Americans plan to wager on the tournament in 2023. That's approximately 1/4 of the adult population. If you're planning to bet during March Madness, it's important to do so safely and responsibly. Some ways you can do so are: first, set a budget before the tournament starts, deciding how much money you're comfortable losing and stick to that number. Second, avoid emotional betting. This involves placing wagers based on feelings, bias, and impulses. This is a primary cause of large gambling loss. And lastly, avoid chasing losses. If your bet doesn't go your way, don't double down trying to win it back. That's the fastest way people lose control of their bankroll. And once again, gamble safely and responsibly. Thanks. Let's send it back to the main anchors.
Thank you, Luke, for that information. Now on to entertainment with Josh.
Hey guys, I'm Josh here with your entertainment news. And now it is March, that means March Madness is right around the corner. I'm going to be going around and asking some Fishers residents who they think will win March Madness this month. My personal opinion, I think IU's taking it home, but let's see what other people think. We're here with our first interviewee, and we're going to ask him about his opinion on March Madness. So who do you think is going to win this March Madness?
Well, it's hard to root against anybody but go for anybody but Duke or maybe Michigan, but maybe Purdue has a shot, but yeah, probably Duke or Michigan would be my prediction.
Hi guys, I'm here with
Jake.
What are your opinions on March Madness this year?
This year I haven't been quite as invested as normal, but I'm going to fill out the bracket and look forward to it just like everyone else.
Who do you think's winning this year?
I have to go with Duke.
Duke?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You think Duke's going to bring it home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so we know last year Duke did not win, and Florida State actually won March Madness, or Florida actually won March Madness. So how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I think it's hard. Duke always has great freshmen, but with being freshmen, they're young. And this year, I think that they've been tested a lot more than they were last year, so they've had a lot harder games, and they've won pretty much all of them at this point. So hard to say that they're not going to win it. Who knows, though?
Yeah.
I mean, they got the best freshmen in the country. I mean, I think it's pretty easy for them to win right now.
So what do you guys think it's going to take for you guys to win this year?
Always coming up in the clutch. March Madness is just that. It's madness, So it's, battling and, beating the teams that are tougher and smarter and just making shots at the end of the day.
They've already been tested. I mean, they beat Michigan, beat Florida.
Yeah.
They beat.
Not UNC.
Yeah. No, not UNC.
Saturday.
Well, there you have it. Those are some opinions from people around Fishers on who they think will win March Madness. If you would like to follow along with our anchors' March Madness brackets, make sure to check out Southeastern Media Network Instagram to follow along. Now, back to the main anchors.
That's all for your newscast today. Why'd you pinch me?
You're not wearing green. Come on.
Oh well. That's all for your newscast today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.